G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. This is Super Rugby Aotearoa, Highlanders versus Crusaders. Yes, Highlanders has ended their 19-game losing streak against fellow New Zealand teams, and a win against the Crusaders is always a great achievement as well for any team in the competition. And what a game. You can tell the Highlanders has did their homework going into this game. They have identified two key areas that are with weakness from the Crusaders, which one is around the rocks, around the breakdown, and two is that 13 channel, that wider channels where the Crusaders defense is lacking, and they've often found themselves with line breaks in that area. They're just shifting the ball out there and getting themselves a lot of value and a lot of territory out of those attacking options. And following with those two weaknesses, Highlanders knew that their set pieces are probably not good enough to breach the Crusaders' set piece defense and just back themselves on ticking over the scoreboard with 3 points and really targeted those breakdowns, getting those penalties and getting themselves in the right area, and then just happy to keep the scoreboard ticking over and really control the game from start to finish to really manage this really well-planned win over the Crusaders. And whereas for the Crusaders, you can tell me what the game plan is for the Crusaders, other than having David Havili out there and just do whatever the hell he wants to do. I don't know what is he playing. Is he playing 10, 12, 15? Or is he playing a open side flanker? I don't know. You tell me, because he was just everywhere, right? And what you can tell that the Crusaders coach had absolutely no idea what they wanted to do going into this game, because 38 minutes in the game, they decided to put on Reihana at 10 and taking off Amua from 13 so that Havili will shift from 10 to 12. Which is really mind-boggling, right? If they think that Havili is doing a shit job at 10, they should just take him off. Instead, they took off the outside center so that Havili will push out to 12. And this was before halftime. Before halftime. I know. What is the logic in that? I have no idea, but I was noticing that Havili was basically playing as a loose set forward at this point. He was hanging around the rocks, so maybe that's the coach looking at this and going, okay, Havili is just, not involved, getting too much involvement at the breakdown. Maybe that's what they wanted to put Reihana on to push him out to 12. But that is just, again, you should have this plan going into this game, not 38 minutes on the clock and just all right, let's just randomly make some changes and see if we can fix this problem where our 10 is playing like a number 7 out there. And it's just mind-boggling. And also on the 38-minute mark as well, Tamati Williams was taken off the field. He had a bit of a hamstring injury. Again, he's world-class All Blacks capped loose set prop. Why is he only given 38 minutes? I know he's back from injury. If you think that he doesn't have the fitness to play the full 80 minutes, just have him on the bench and come off the bench. And it was just bizarre. And he was having a good run there. So he got he got a turnover just before that. And they're just all right, take him off the field. 38 minutes on the clock. Just stupidity. Especially considering that you're about to go into halftime, have a break anyway. And then you're going to give him give him a break, come out another 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then take him off. There should be absolutely no problem for him to handle that. Nah, just take him off the field, 30 minutes. There was no glaring issues with scrummaging or anything. Just take him off the field, guys. Because I guess coaches, Rob Penny just throwing darts on the board, right? At this point. That's what it looked like. And outside of that, yeah, so David Havili as well, after he was moved to 12, supposedly at 12, late in the game, he was still playing like a 10. He was dropping back to cover those kicking game. He was, his kicking game is pretty average, let's face it. So what is he actually playing? Is he playing 15? Is he playing 15? Is he still playing? Look like he was still playing 10, right? I mean, the 12 don't usually go back and cover the kicking game. It's just it's just mind-boggling what is going on out there. And also, if you look at the setup on the forward pack as well, whenever there's a breakdown, there's no pot setting up from the Crusaders. It's just no one is trying to speed up the rock and try to do a quick pick and go. Nah, let's just let's just, have the halfback go in there and have a look around for 5 seconds and figure out which way they wanted to go. Almost every breakdown, it was slow breakdown. And the Highlanders didn't have to do anything to slow the breakdowns. And because the Crusaders didn't already know what they wanted to do. It was really, really, really obvious out there. And finally, I'd just like to mention that Ethan de Groot looked absolutely massive out there. I just want to say, he was up against Fletcher Newell, and you can just tell he was like visibly bigger than Fletcher Newell, and Fletcher Newell is an absolute monster himself. And boy, Ethan de Groot was looking great out there. I think he had a one penalty over Newell. Did consider penalty for collapsing the scrum. It looked like he slipped, but hey, man, it was just really impressive watching the big men out there doing their battles. Now, let's have a look at the overall stats of the game. Like I said, the Highlanders knew exactly the areas they wanted to win the game. 2 tries to 4, 348 run meters to Crusaders 455. You figure that the Crusaders should have won this game. 16 turnovers against Highlanders, 13 against the Crusaders. 214 tackles made by the Highlanders, 26 missed tackles. Crusaders, 147 tackles made, 22 missed tackles. Was higher in missed tackle rate than the Highlanders. Kicking game, Highlanders probably slightly managed that a little bit better, especially, like I said, Havili's kicking game wasn't that great. Wasn't sure why he was dropping back to cover a lot of those kicking game himself. The Crusaders had 1 missed conversion in the game, and the Highlanders was perfect in their goal kicking. What was his name? Highlanders started the season with really, Miller. Wow, really well done. Like, Highlanders started the season with, what was his name? The Welsh, the Princess Welsh. What's his name? I can't even remember his name. But anyway, they had, Gilbert kicking. That was not really, really poor for the Highlanders. And then they had, Reece Patchell, the Welsh Princess, not able to get his goals as well. So finally, they got the right goal kicker. Miller was getting that, that 100% rate was really, really, really well done. He kicked them from just about anywhere on the field as well. It was really impressive, and something that Highlanders has been missing for the whole season as well now. Lineouts, 1 loss of Highlanders, 2 against the Crusaders. Scrum was quite even. I do think that de Groot had a bit of an advantage over Fletcher Newell in the first half. And here's the big difference between the two teams. Penalties conceded. Only 6 penalties conceded against Highlanders, 13 against the Crusaders. And Angus Garner in this game, he did not issue repeated penalty warnings. He just looked at the situation and just giving out yellow cards if he deemed that a cynical play was made. So Fakatava was issued a yellow card early in the game. He basically made a tackle just in front of his own try line, and he had to like hold on to the player to make sure that he doesn't pop the ball off the ground. So in doing so, Angus Garner was right on it and said, you have denied a potential try scoring opportunity, yellow card. But if you look at this, it looked like a pretty tough call, but I think Garner made a really, really good decision there to give a yellow card there. There was 1 yellow card against one of the Crusaders player. What's his name? The number 4. What was his name? Hannah? Is it? Let's have a look at his name. Yeah, Jamie Hannah. He was. I think there was again a cynical play around the breakdown as well after repeated penalties in front of right in front of the try line. So Angus Garner was just like, nope, that's another yellow card. No warning whatsoever. And also in the final minute of the game, Crusaders were desperately going for a try. Again, another desperate attempt from the Highlanders to kind of like to slow the ball down, giving away a penalty, and there was a 1 yellow card given out right at the end of the game. I forgot his name, but let's see if you can see that from the commentary. Cameron Miller was sent off with a yellow card. But hey, it is what it is. Despite Crusaders' attempt to, getting a bonus point try right at the end, it was not enough to win the game. 32 points to 29. Really, really, really good performance by the teams. And let's have a look at the scoring of this game. So, it took 4 minutes for the Highlanders to get a penalty inside the Crusaders half, and the Highlanders had, did apply a bit of pressure inside the Crusaders 22, so they wanted to take the 3 points here. I was like, okay, if that's your game plan, go with it. 3-0 for the Highlanders. 5 minutes into the game, there was a weird sort of situation. One of the Highlanders players went in for a tackle, and the ball was passed onto his head in the tackle, and then the ball was knocked backwards towards the Crusaders try line, and Talea, the Highlanders outside centre number 13, scooped up the ball, ran down 50 metres, 10-0 to the Highlanders. 10 minutes into the game, Crusaders get their first try on the ball. Like I said, Fakatava made a tackle on the ground, never released the player to try to prevent the offload or the pop-up from the ground. And the Crusaders went for the 5-metre line out, got a penalty again. Cody Taylor crashed centre field, joining two defenders. The ball spread out to David Havili, long ball over the top. Xavier Reese, one-on-one down in the wing. No one was going to stop him. 10-7, Crusaders hitting back. 13 minutes into the game, another penalty to the Highlanders. 13-7. There was 17 minutes in the game, there was a try that looked like it was scored by the Crusaders into the corner, and then the try was given, and the conversion was about to be taken. Suddenly the TMO rang up, and I was like, oh no, the ball was actually planted on the sideline over the dead ball line. Over the try line. So it was actually out in goal, no try. At this point, Justin Marshall actually said, oh, as long as the conversion wasn't taken, the referee is allowed to disallow the try. But that's actually not true, Justin Marshall. Even if the 2-point is taken and it's deemed good, the referee can still revoke the try after that. They changed the laws after the Bloodless Cup with Matthew Reynolds, the time-wasting incident. They changed the laws after that match, and it's well-known law as the Bernard Foley clause. And yes, if you want to look into it, go look into it. But that's actually been changed. So even if 2-point has been taken, they can still go back and decline the try if the TMO sees something. 90 minutes into the game, some really nice move from the Crusaders. They had a nice little play center field. The ball went kind of wide to Amor. Amor inside ball to Johnny McNichol, who ran through the middle of the field. He offloaded to the halfback, and then the halfback offloads again. The ball was bouncing on the ground, and it was towed forward by the inside center, McLeod, and then he scooped it up for the try. 13-14 to the Crusaders. 21 minutes into the game, Highlanders had a line-out play. The ball went over the top. There was a few crash balls in a field. Fakatava got to the breakdown, looked out. There was a gap in front of him. Pick and go. Pick and go. And then he went through a little gap. Nice little offload. No-look offload to Miller, the number 10, who went in for the try. 20-14 for the Highlanders. 26 minutes into the game, another penalty at the breakdown. Fakatava taking a quick tap, and he knocked the ball on. And the referee's like, no, you've taken it in the wrong spot. So the ball was saved, going back for taking the 3 points. 23-14. 32 minutes into the game, there was another nice line break from the Highlanders. Like I said, they were finding some space in the outside channels. They got in front of the goalpost, get another penalty. 26-14. And so 36 minutes of the game, another break down the sideline. Again, wide channels, Narake this time, right down into the Crusaders half. Building faces, 16 faces later, the Highlanders really wasn't going anywhere. And then the number 4, Jamie Hanna, was sent off with a yellow card for no arms tackle. And the ball was eventually turned over by Tamati Williams. And then the coaching staff decided to yank him off the field and yank Amora off the field at the same time. Put on Ray Hanna and George Bauer as the replacements. And that was half time. 45 minutes in the second half, there was a penalty for the Crusaders. They went for the line out. Some nice crash ball in center field. Eventually, the ball came out to Finaki over the top to Xavier Reese. Try time, unstoppable Xavier Reese. 26-19. Crusaders getting themselves back on the board. 50 minutes into the game, there was another offside against the Highlanders right in front of the goalpost. Crusaders putting some pressure on now. 26-12. Looking like the game is on for the chase. But after this was scored, both teams weren't able to score for a very long time. It took another 23 minutes, so 73 minutes on the clock before finally Highlanders was able to get inside the Crusaders half, getting a penalty in the kickable range to go for the 3 points, 29-12. And then finally, 77 minutes into the game, Highlanders, again, just barely getting inside the Crusaders half, getting a penalty from a pretty big angle, a bit of a difficult kick, but Miller was able to kick this one through to basically put the game out of reach, 32 points to 22. And finally, last minute of the play, Crusaders running the ball for about, I don't know, so many phases, double-digit phases. Eventually, there was a cynical play from Miller right in front of his goal line to try to slow the ball down. Referee sent him off, and then the Crusaders went for the line. I think it was a line out. And then they just basically crashed the ball. It was a really weird situation. One of the players, was getting held up basically over the try line, and his knee touched the ground. And the referee's like, you got to let him go. His knee's on the ground. And then the Highlander players let him go, and he just dropped down and scored a try. So yeah, a bit weird situation there. So I wasn't sure what is happening because it's kind of weird because I feel like if the player is over the try line with his knee on the ground, it will be a held up in goal. It will be a no try. It will basically be the same as if you went for the try and you were held up. So that would be a held up in goal, no try. But because he was told to let go, just before the try line, and then he kind of just fell over the try line. There was a bit of a gray area, where how this actually was, how this was implemented. But yeah, Crusaders did get a try there, and it was a bit weird there. But yeah, it was Springer getting the try, but 32 points to 29. Highlanders was too far away for the Crusaders to win from that point. And great result for Highlanders, and really, really well done. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts about Rob Penny's future as the head coach of the Crusaders. And thanks for watching. Cheers.